Are you a beginner or even an advanced photographer eager to elevate your skills across all styles of photography? Whether you are interested in stunning portraits, vibrant street scenes, breathtaking landscape, or product photography, imagine a lens which is very versatile, lightweight, and perfect for all these kind of genres. In today's video, I'm going to share 5 major benefits of using a 50mm lens that will transform your photography. By the end of this video, you will see why this is an essential lens every photographer should add to their kit. Hey there, welcome to my channel, and if you're new here, then I am Anshu and I have been a photographer for over 15 years now. I love taking photos, and recently I started into the wide world of creating video contents as well. In today's video, I am diving into one of my favorite topic, which is the 50mm lens right here. I will show you some of the benefits of carrying this lens. If you're a beginner and in the market for buying a new camera, whether it's a SLR or a mirrorless camera, then this is the lens I would recommend that you should go ahead and purchase instead of the kit lens. Just don't buy the kit lens. So what you can do instead of buying a camera with a kit lens, buy your camera body separately and buy a 50mm lens separately. I'll tell you in a while why that is beneficial if you are going ahead and starting photography. So photographers often use a 50mm lens to capture something which actually the human eye can perceive and visualize. It is very near or close enough to what we see as a human, and it really has a lot of advantages. Plus, I'm going to wrap up this video giving you different options of 50mm lens for your brand of camera, and you can go ahead and choose that particular brand for your camera. So the first benefit of this lens is that it's a very budget-friendly option. In fact, it is one of the most affordable prime lenses you can buy across any brand. Now, the 50mm lens usually retails around 6,000 to 7,000 for an SLR and around 20,000 for a mirrorless version. I just went ahead and checked a Sony 50mm 1.8 for a mirrorless version is around 20,000. In fact, I went ahead and bought my first 50mm lens when I started my SLR photography journey almost 15 years ago, and this is the lens which I had got, and it really served me very well. I have used just this lens for many years as a beginner photographer, and I had actually gone and sold this lens. This is the 50mm 1.8D version. I went ahead and sold off this lens and upgraded to a 1.4 lens, but after a few years I really missed this lens so much that I went ahead and bought another version, which is this one currently. I have to add here just how lightweight these 50mm lenses are, even when I talk about the mirrorless lens. So if you see, this is the mirrorless version of 1.8 50mm lens which I have, and this is the older DSLR version. Even with the mirrorless, it's just so lightweight. In fact, I'll just put how many grams it is, and it really feels very lightweight even when I'm carrying it with maybe some accessories on the camera. So if you are a beginner and you really don't want to be bogged down by very heavy equipment, huge lenses, which will actually limit your mobility, with this lens you can be very mobile, you can move around. So the second benefit which I wanted to talk about was its wide aperture. Now, because this is a prime lens with a fixed focal, usually the aperture is very wide. You will get an aperture as wide as 1.2 for very expensive 50mm lens, but most of the standard 50mm lens come with 1.8 aperture. Wider aperture also means not only you get very nice bokeh background or the blurry background, but also it is very good for low light performance. So I have a 20mm lens with 2.8 aperture, and I experimented in low light photography using my both 20mm as well as 51.4mm lens. And the 50mm lens was just so much brighter, and I had to also use a lower ISO setting for this. And because I was using a wider aperture, something like 1.4 when compared to 2.8, I could go ahead and choose a lesser ISO setting when shooting in dim light situation, and that means less noise when you're going ahead and clicking your photo. Now, one of the major benefits of having this lens is its versatility. Now, whether you are shooting portraits or maybe food photography or maybe landscape, something which I also mentioned earlier in the video, this lens is very versatile and you can use it across different genres of photography. Now, the only genre which I think it doesn't really apply is the wildlife photography. But apart from that, major of the photography genres can be clicked using this one particular lens. Now, just to give you an example, this focal length is perfect for food photography. So something which I do a lot, and it has minimum distortion in terms of how wide you want the shot to be, and you really don't have to get too close in the subject as well. So the another benefit of having this 50mm lens is it is fantastic lens for clicking portraits. Now, this lens is something which gives you the right kind of compression and skin tones when you are going ahead and clicking portraits. Here's a portrait which I took at park of my daughter and my brother, and it showcased very nice soft bokeh in the background. The lens creates a pleasing depth of field and also highlighting the subject very well. So finally, when using a 50mm lens, it encourages you to frame your shot as a beginner rather than just relying on the zoom capability of a lens. Now, because this lens has a fixed focal length, it encourages you to zoom in and out of your subject and then try to create the best composition possible. And this way you can in fact experiment with your composition rather than just relying on the zoom of the lens to help you with the composition. So now let's summarize some of the 50mm options available for different major brands. I'm a Nikon shooter, and I'm also showing you some of the major 50mm lenses which are available today for both mirrorless option as well as the SLR option. So there it is. The 50mm lens is an excellent versatile lens ideal for beginner photographers. It's versatile, it's affordable, and it encourages you to think creatively. So what do you think is your favorite beginner's lens? Do you think 50mm is a good beginner's lens? Do leave me a comment below. And I will see you next time in another video. Till then, bye.